Okay, so this way of dealing with the grip, we're going to thread our leg through to the triangle. We can look to either finish the triangle choke at this point, it's just going to be a slightly different arrangement, or we use that to isolate the shoulder and finish the armbar. So typically any of these grip breaks where we're threading our leg through is requiring usually something like an S grip or a gable grip for our opponent, and then there's going to be more space here. If his hands are up high, it doesn't make sense for me to try and throw my leg over, but it makes it much easier for me to feed my leg through. So I got the Kimura control. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this foot in. I can check the bicep first if I want to. I'm not going to be able to thread my leg through, but typically I go here and I try and stomp my opponent, and sometimes I still don't feel like I'm going to be able to effectively break the grip. Like they've just really locked everything down. So I'm going to take my leg, I'm going to weave it through. I can even back my hip up a little bit if I need to because of this Kimura control. I can back my hip up, or I can internally rotate his shoulder further to turn him away from me. And by doing this, I'm going to be able to create a little more space that I need to thread that leg through comfortably. Now, what I want to do is I want to bring this leg up and I want to control tight to his neck here. With this Kimura control, I can play it more loose if I want to, but for right now, just turn. I just want to make sure that I'm cinching this up pretty tight and I still have this leg draped over his face breaking posture. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to start bringing this leg off his head, and kind of like how I showed when it comes to transitioning the back, we can either look to control the head immediately and sit up and back to then start locking our triangle, or we can play this more loose base with just this Kimura control and I can just lean back myself and I bring my leg behind his head. So in this, I'll just show you guys a more secure version, which is just grabbing at the head. So as I bring this leg through, I go here and here. I'm going to bring my chest up to his elbow. I'm going to grab here nice and tight. I can grab onto my own leg. I can grab the back of his tricep. But I'm keeping it super tight. If his arm drapes over to the other side of my knee, that is totally fine. I grab the back of his head, and I start working to grab up on my shin here. What I'm going to look to do is not have my knee flat like this, because if he bridges over top of my leg right now and slides his shoulders over and keeps driving away from me, he's escaped the position. I need to bring my knee in as that kickstand, so I have to have it at the proper force vector. Here, I weave through, I get here, this is where I can control further up on the head, just so that I already stop his ability to posture and bridge, and I bring this leg in here as a kickstand. Now if he tried to bridge, very difficult to, I just keep moving my knee away if I need to. Here I'm going to connect my foot underneath in the crook of my knee. Now the problem right here is that the triangle is not configured correctly to be able to occlude his arteries. Instead of being here at a 45-degree angle where it's going to be cutting off the blood on his carotid arteries on the left side of his neck, I'm actually more here, right on the direct side. And so what it ends up doing is just kind of cranking. That is fine. If I'm happy with this, I can absolutely control this. It isolates the shoulder, and I can use this because of the posture break. If he tries to keep his arms gripped together, I just keep that pressure in his neck, and I'll take the arm, and I'll finish the arm bar in the same breaking mechanics of twisting the thumb down towards the feet, taking the slack out of the arm, and then slowly extending, and I'll finish with this configuration. Typically what I do most often, I like it. But if I want to finish the triangle, what I need to do is adjust my hip angle from here where it's on the side of his neck to here. Now I've created the proper triangle where I have this at a 45-degree angle, occluding the arteries on the left side of his neck, and his shoulder that will be occluding the artery on the right side of his neck while this is the back side. Now as I link this together, I can now look to, I take my hips and I walk them back a little bit to start cinching this in and completing this. If I wanted to, I could lift my hips up and drive in. I could even look at controlling this other arm in some way, coming up and finishing this. Yeah, I just finished a guy like this yesterday where I just didn't feel like I was strong enough necessarily because of the position and how we kind of ended up there. Breaking his grip didn't make sense. So by being able to go here, connect, falling back, adjusting the angle, I can even finish the triangle here if I got the proper angle. While I end up kind of starting to end up towards bottom, I'm still in complete control. And so I haven't actually conceded bottom position yet. So here, I open the arms up so I can thread this leg through. I still got that Kimura the whole time, so there's no risk. Here I'm going to choose to just kind of fall back like this. Kevin can try and turn into me. That's great. His elbow is off the ground. He can't turn in any further. This just helps me that I can bring this leg behind his head to break posture and connect. And now from here, I already have closer to the proper angle, but if I need it, I'll just adjust myself slightly here. So I don't even need the actual Kimura at this point, because with this control, try and turn into me, Kevin. I have such strong rotational control, the ability for him to bring that shoulder forward to actually get on top, very difficult. From here, try and turn on top. Finishing that triangle. So you can use that triangle to finish the triangle, obviously, or you can just use it as very strong posture control and isolating the shoulder to finish the armbar.